I am your friendly local myth-busting anthropologist / archaeologist. I have a new mic. Okay, well, honestly, it's the same mic. It's just on a mic stand now, so that way I don't have to wear certain clothes to film whatever I want. I could just talk into this, and honestly, the audio should come out even clearer. Now, I want to remind you that if you guys like and subscribe, I will fight Kent Hovind with my bare hands in a professional boxing match aired on Netflix, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson style. So today's question is, did we find the Ark, Noah's Ark, on the mountain range, or Mount Ararat? We'll just call it that. Does Noah deserve the world's most expensive parking ticket? And before we get into all the important stuff, I want to go ahead and get our who, what, when, where, and why. Oh, actually, before we do that, there was this dude in the last video that I made talking about Kent Hovind. His name was JKNGA, and if you read it out, it reads like a really bad word. So I'm not gonna say his full name, like read out. But he didn't like the fact that I was saying the fuck word. He was basically like, Kent Hovind doesn't have to say the fuck word. Why do you have to say the fuck word? And it's because I like it, you fuckwit. Now, okay, let's go ahead and talk about the who, right? Our cast of characters. First, we've got Noah. He's the OG zookeeper. He's the dude who fit 2 of every animal on a boat, including mosquitoes. Don't know how he did that, but he did it. And then we also have Kent Hovind, the modern day Ark cheerleader. Don't do that, cat. Don't do that. He's the modern day Ark cheerleader who's claiming that 100% of the Bible is 100% correct. None of it is analogy. None of it is a hyperbole. None of it is over dramatized. It's all 100% true, 100% fact. And if you think otherwise, fuck you. Now, what is the deal with a Debunking site? I think I said that right. I'm not 100% sure. If I said it wrong, just correct me. Well, it's a boat-shaped rock formation near Mount Ararat that some people are convinced it is the Ark. And by some people, I mean Kent. And standing for truth, those guys, but they're a whole other video. We don't get to talk about them. Now, here's the kicker. Ark hunters have said, like, that's a boat. Everyone else, including geologists, have looked at it and said, that's a pretty sick fucking rock. It's like finding a dragon in the clouds and like being like, dragon! But everyone else is like, okay, calm down, Targaryen. Now, let's place this in a time frame, right? Because the Bible places the flood being 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. That's like saying, historically, the Ark was built when humans were in their awkward teenage phase. Meanwhile, the Debunking site was first advertised as the Ark sometime in the 1950s by this guy named Ron Wyatt. I want you to remember that name, Ron Wyatt. He claimed that it was the Ark. Hey, don't eat that. Don't. He claimed that he found the Ark and everyone was like, okay, Ron. Okay, we believe you. Honestly, when your biggest discovery and claim to fame is a site that has 0 peer-review evidence behind it, it makes me question shit too. Now here's the where. Now the mountains of Ararat, or Mount Ararat, in the Bible doesn't actually mean the mountain range of Mount Ararat. I remember hearing it and reading it correctly. It was actually talking about the Ararat people. So it's like saying that, this thing that is now in Texas was in Mexico. So you're going to be looking at modern day Mexico. It doesn't make any sense. But basically Mount Ararat just kind of came the go-to because it's big, dramatic, has a sick fucking name. Now, why are people so desperate to believe in the Ark? Or not believe in the Ark, but find the Ark? At least in Kent Hovind's case, finding the Ark is going to ratify him. It's going to make him correct. It's going to disprove all of those non-believers and those pesky evolutionists, as if finding one would disprove the other. It's like saying finding a giant boat would make every Darwinist go, oh, shucks, you found the boat. We've been trying to hide it from you. He's just a dude who fucking watched a little too much Indiana Jones and swears the Holy Grail is out there. Honestly, it could be. I don't know. I haven't read into it. Now here's where things start to fall apart. Let's start with the wood, right? Wood does not last 5,000 years when left on a mountaintop exposed to the elements. Wood doesn't like to do that unless it's frozen, petrified, or underneath very stagnant water. It's gonna deteriorate. I have a fucking countertop hanging out outside that was built a year ago, and that shit's already falling apart. Let's say you did find some wood there. How would you find out that the wood was 5,000 years old? Well, you would carbon date it, but the thing is, Kent Hovind doesn't believe in carbon dating. That's not his stick. It's false science to him. It doesn't make, so how do you prove it? You don't, at least not to him. Now let's go ahead and start debunking it, right? Right, so like I said, it's a boat-shaped formation on the top of Mount Ararat. First up, that is one big fucking boat. Now, the boat-shaped formation itself, yeah, it looks like a boat, but it's not. But here's the thing, erosion likes to mess with us, right? Nature likes to mess with us. Erosion makes things look man-made. It makes rocks look like polished stone. It makes volcanoes look like boats. In fact, geologist Dr. David Fashold and others along the way, but David Fashold is the one who I read about. They studied the site and they determined that it's really just made up of limestone and mud. It's like folded rock layers on top of each other. It's not a man-made structure, not at all. Now, what about the petrified wood? There was petrified wood found there, I hear you say, excited on the edge of your seat, edging on your seat. This is a classic case of a confirmation bias. They found a rock that looked like wood and then said, this is wood. It was not wood. But basically the wood that they found was just basalt and mudstone. Basically they found regular ass rocks, cool looking rocks, and they said, close enough. That's close enough. And then they'll say, like, oh, there's metal rivets and braces. Metal rivets and braces were found there. You can't fucking lie about that. But the thing is, it might have been metal, but it was iron deposits. Now, of course, ancient people didn't have access to Home Depot, and back then they weren't really doing a lot of iron work. Instead, what these ark hunters found were what's called iron nodules, which occurs naturally when you have volcanic rock just chilling around. And guess what Mount Ararat is? It's a big fucking inactive volcano. And then they will also say that radar scans showed wooden planks underneath the slate, except it's not. See, these radar scans are very open to interpretation, but the natural consensus is that it's not wood planks. It's just layers of rock and soil laid on top of each other, which is, makes sense again, because mudslides, it's my cat. I mean, if you stare at the radar scans long enough, I guess it looks like wood, but it's not proof that there is an ark there unless you excavate it and set a volcano off. And then they talk about anchor stones, right? Now, an anchor stone is what would have been used to anchor down a ship and keep it there. Now, with the stones that are there and the amount of stones that are there, unless he was not making an ark and making a submarine, I don't think that was the case. I don't think that's what was happening at all. Because I think I said it before in the video, but in archaeology, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. That's usually a claim that I don't agree with, but in this case, it is. If you claim that there's a boat there, show me a boat. If you claim that it's Noah's Ark, show me some animal feces on the ark when you excavate it. Show me something other than iron nodules and fake wood. Actually, don't show me your wood. Don't do that. Now look, Noah's Ark itself, like this is from our anthropologist perspective, right? Noah's Ark itself is a really interesting case to look at because every society out there, every culture had some sort of flood myth. The Mesopotamians, flood. The Christians, flood. The Greeks, dude, Zeus got mad at them. He was like, dude, you're gay, flood. Like I said before, that's because scary shit happens, and this is the way that ancient people were best able to explain it and soothe themselves from anxiety. It was scary god shit, and they couldn't explain it, they couldn't fight it, they just accepted it. And that's fine. That's how they justified it. But that also doesn't mean that there's a fucking boat on the top of a mountain. So let me ask you, what's your take? You, viewer, you. Did Noah commit the first double parking job in all of history? Is he the original Uber driver driving while two drunk elephants are making out in the back seat? Or is this just a biblical treasure hunt that's gone too far? Let me know what you think. And JKNGA, if you're out there, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you think. Just for you, I'm going to squeeze one more F word in there. Fuck. Anyways, until next time, I am your friendly neighborhood archaeologist / anthropologist. I really appreciate you guys watching. I will see y'all later.